Hello folks, and welcome to episode 67 of The Organist Entertains from here at Bellshill Central Parish Church. Beginning things tonight, we have already heard that wonderful version of Psalm 100, "All people that on earth do dwell," requested tonight by Alexa Walker, a member here at Bellshill Central Parish Church and a choir member. It's a very good way to begin tonight as we make a joyful noise, most appropriately requested by Alexa, the choir member, played on our fantastic organ here at Bellshill Central, a 1930 vintage organ by the Hillsdon Organ Company, which was based in Glasgow. Now, tonight, I am going to try and not wax lyrical about each of our items tonight. I'm going to try and just introduce them and say who has requested, perhaps with a little bit about each hymn. Our second hymn of the night has been requested by two people. It was first requested by Tony Newnham, and then a request came in for the same hymn from Anne White. The hymn is "Safe in the Arms of Jesus," a much loved hymn which brings faith and comfort to many people, knowing that we are indeed safe in the arms of Jesus. So thank you, Tony, and thank you, Anne, for requesting such a lovely hymn. Moving on to our third hymn choice tonight, we have the second of Tony's requests. The hymn, When Peace Like a River Attendeth My Soul, with the chorus of it is well with my soul. This is a hymn which I know is loved by many, especially Rhys and Elspeth. You have both requested this hymn in the past. So, sticking to my trying not to speak for too much for each hymn, we now have When Peace Like a River. Our next request, our fourth item tonight, is the first item requested by Alexa Walker for her husband, Bobby. It's Bobby's 80th birthday tomorrow. So here is a happy birthday, Bobby, one day early, and the first of your musical presents from Alexa. The request which we have now for you is Bless This House. First published in 1927, words by Helen Taylor and the music composed by May Bray, a friend of Helen Taylor's. The song was frequently found in spiritual and inspirational collections. It was a favourite of Dame Vera Lynn, the British World War II Forces sweetheart, appearing in many of her albums, including her favourite sacred songs of 1972. The song has probably been sung by most solo singers at various events, and I know that this song, requested by Alexa for Bobby on the occasion of your pre-birthday, for your 80th birthday, will mean a lot to my cousin Elaine Rennick, because her dad, my Uncle Tom, sang this song frequently as well. So thank you, Alexa, for requesting such a lovely song for the occasion of Bobby's 80th birthday, which takes place tomorrow. Bless this house. Now we move on to the first item of some organ music tonight. It is a short organ prelude on the psalm tune Stracathro. Now, Stracathro is a small village in Angus in Scotland, and it is quite near to the town of Brechin. The psalm tune is beautiful, and this particular arrangement of the psalm tune Stracathro has been arranged by Jonathan Buchan. The arrangement was made specifically for his dad's funeral just a few months ago. So thank you, Jonathan, for sharing with me such a lovely arrangement of such a lovely psalm tune with its memories for you of your dad. Stracathro, arranged by Jonathan Buchan. Our next item and request tonight is number 6, and it has been requested by Elspeth Dornan. Elspeth Dornan is an integral part of the choir here at Bellshill Central, being one of our altos. The alto section at Bellshill Central consists these days of just my mum and Elspeth. So they are partners in crime as they sing their harmony lines in the choir. Elspeth loves things of a French style, things in a minor key, and this is why she has chosen this particular hymn. It's the hymn, Jesus Christ is Waiting, Waiting in the Streets, set to a French carol melody. And as I often do here in church, we finish this minor tune with a major chord. And for the musical people among us, that is called a tierce de Picardy. So hopefully, Elspeth, this meets with your approval as we hear Jesus Christ is Waiting. Our next item is an item which I forgot to introduce in person in the church, so apologies that I'm having to do this virtually. It's a hymn requested by our friend Morag MacLeod, who lives in Glenmavis and is a friend of the Organist Entertains and enjoys participating and putting in her requests. So, Morag, your request tonight is the hymn, Just a Closer Walk with Thee. Well, moving on, we come to our 8th item in tonight's Organist Entertains. It is a psalm, and it is set to the tune of French Dundee. It has been requested by my mum, Mary Matthew, and our friend from Tweedbank, Sheila Miller. It is, of course, Psalm 121. I to the hills will lift mine eyes. Sheila has requested that we have a couple of verses played with the tenor line just a little bit more prominent than the tune, because it is such a lovely tenor line and almost acts as an inner counter melody. So hopefully you can hear me picking out the tenor line and making it sound just that little bit louder than the rest for a couple of the verses. It's a psalm which often headed the praise list of our Sunday morning services, but nowadays the psalms don't feature all that often. However, it is comforting when a psalm such as Psalm 121 appears in our Sunday morning praise. So thank you, Sheila, and thank you, Mum, for requesting "I to the hills will lift mine eyes." Our next hymn request tonight comes from Anne White, our friend of the Organist Entertains and member of Bellshill Central's virtual choir, all the way from Ireland. It's the hymn, "Jesus is Lord, creation's voice proclaims it," written by David Mansell. It's only got 3 verses, and perhaps it could be doing with some more. However, it's a wonderfully uplifting hymn. And I remember it, and I think Anne Fairclough remembers it as well, and perhaps Anne White remembers this too. It was selected as one of the hymns in a Songs of Praise episode production, which came from Lanarkshire, probably 20 plus years ago. The rehearsals were held in Cadzow Parish Church in Hamilton, and the video recording itself was on a very sunny day in Strathclyde Country Park. This, as I say, was one of the hymns, and as we were instructed to sing it, we had to sing with one leading beat in the bar. It helps move it on and keeps it joyful and flowing. So hopefully, as you're singing along tonight, you take heed of these musical instructions and sing it with one beat in the bar to keep it flowing and keep it moving. So thank you, Anne, for requesting Jesus is Lord, creation's voice proclaims it. Our next item is our second item of organ music. It's an item of music which has been running through my head all week. It's a movement from the 6th Organ Sonata by Felix Mendelssohn. It's the final movement called the Andante. Now, a final movement, the finale, is normally loud and has dust coming out of the organ pipes and swishing it all around the building. However, this is a lighter and more gentler finale to this organ sonata. It's from the organ sonata in D minor. However, this particular movement is in the key of D major, meaning it's bright and happy. However, it's flowing and lilting and gentle all at the same time. So it allows you to hear the gentler tones of this organ, which we are proud to have at Bellshill Central. And hopefully, now that I've played it, I've got it out of my system. Mendelssohn's finale from his 6th organ sonata, the Andante. Back to our hymn requests, and we are on to our 11th item tonight. It's the song, the worship song, Our God Reigns, or How Lovely on the Mountains Are the Feet of Him, requested by our friend in Ireland, Anne White. So everybody sing up, because I know that you all enjoy this hymn, particularly the chorus of Our God Reigns. How lovely on the mountains are the feet of Him. Our next item of praise tonight, our next request, comes from Bellshill Central member, Zandra Swan. Zandra loves all types of Christian music, whether it be new or whether it be old. Now, Zandra is one of the followers, champions of Lord, You Have Come to the Seashore. However, tonight's hymn choice could not be more different. It is the hymn, O Worship the King, all glorious above, set to the wonderful tune of Hanover. Our next hymn tonight is the 13th item. It is requested by our friend Andrew MacLeod, a member of Hill Church in Glasgow. His two hymn choices tonight are more modern hymns, and the first is written by Stuart Townend. It's an item of music the choir have sang here before, and we used it as the communion elements were being distributed amongst the pews. It's entitled Communion Hymn, Behold the Lamb of God. It's a beautiful hymn, and I do hope that everyone enjoys it, and we thank you, Andrew, for choosing it. If you don't know it, use it as a time of reflection. If you do know it, sing along. Remember the times that we've shared together the bread and wine, gathered together in this church or any church as the family of God. Behold the Lamb of God. Andrew's second choice tonight is a hymn which was not known to me. However, I have quite quickly grown to like it. It's another hymn for a communion service. It's a hymn by Dan Shute. It's called Table of Plenty. The refrain goes like this: come to the feast of heaven and earth. Come to the table of plenty. God will provide for all that we need here at the table of plenty. The verses then go on to talk about our life and our life with the table of plenty. It's a beautiful hymn, and Andrew, we do thank you for choosing it, and hopefully for those who don't know it will come to like it as quickly as I have done today. Table of Plenty, requested by Andrew MacLeod. Our next hymn has been requested from friends of Bellshill Central, Anne and Colm Maguire, not because of its words, but because of its tune. The hymn is Search Me, O God, and Know My Heart Today, written by J. Edwin Orr. Normally, this hymn can be sung to a number of tunes, including the one which we have tonight. It perhaps is more commonly sung to Ellers or Diana. However, the reason for having Search Me, O God, is because of the tune which we use tonight. Highland Cathedral. We've had Highland Cathedral many times before. To the words, Land of my fathers, we will always be, faithful and loyal to our own country. We've had it sung to Christ be our light, the bright and morning star. And we have sung it to Psalm 139. O God, you've searched me and you've known me. So this is a tune loved by many, quite patriotic, and set to many different hymns. So we have Search Me, O God, and Know My Heart Today, kind of requested from Anne and Colm Maguire, set to the tune of Highland Cathedral, definitely requested by Anne and Colm Maguire. Our penultimate item tonight, and the final request, is from Alexa Walker, chosen for Bobby, because tomorrow is your 80th birthday. It's the hymn Underneath the Banner, the hymn of the Boys' Brigade. It was written and composed and dedicated to all the brigade in all good comradeship. Written by M.B. Forster. It's a hymn which I know that Boys' Brigade members in the past would sing weekly, would sing at services which included the Boys' Brigade. And we at Bellshill Central, although not having a Boys' Brigade company any longer, have sang it at big hymn sings, requested by the likes of you, Bobby, and Jim Mackey. And we've also sang it at one of our recent Guild services, perhaps not so recent now, but a couple of years ago, the Guild project was the Boys' Brigade. And at one of the Guild-led services, Sheena Bowman chose, after speaking about the Boys' Brigade, Underneath the Banner. So, for you, Bobby, and for all ex-BBs out there, here we have Underneath the Banner of the Cross arrayed. Lord, we ask thy blessing on the Boys' Brigade. Our final hymn tonight is a hymn which I love, and I think that most choir singers will love it as well. Angel Voices, Ever Singing. It was written in 1861 by a Church of England vicar, Francis Pott, and it was written for the dedication of an organ. Perhaps that's why I like this hymn so much. Francis Pott was invited by William McCrory to compose a hymn to commemorate the installation and dedication of a new organ at St John's Church in Lancashire. He set the hymn to a tune called Angel Voices by his friend Edwin Monk, as they had collaborated together on this hymn, Angel Voices Ever Singing. Pott published the hymn in 1866. The hymn gained popularity in the United Kingdom and the United States. In 1872, Arthur Sullivan wrote a separate tune, which was also called Angel Voices for the hymn. And though it gained popularity in the United States, Pott did not like Sullivan's tune and banned it from being published alongside his words. He stated this: "I am afraid that some of its popularity arose from Sullivan having, contrary to my desire, set it in the hymnary to a pretty, trivial but altogether unfit tune of his own, which caught the ear of people who did not trouble themselves to see that the hymn was of quite another character. In giving permission since for the printing of the hymn, I have always made it a condition that Sullivan's tune shall not be in any way referred to." So due to Pott's banning of Sullivan's tune being published with the words Angel Voices Ever Singing, we have always sung it thereafter to Monk's tune, also Angel Voices. The choir here at Bellshill Central and a number of choirs which I have led have sang an anthem version of it, arranged by Christopher Tambling. And I use Christopher Tambling's final verse, which has a descant. And if there are any singers who've sung in choirs which I have led, perhaps Nora Gray at Williamwood, if you're listening, you will definitely recognise the last verse with its soaring descant as we finish. So, after my longest introduction of the night, we now have Angel Voices Ever Singing. Well, folks, we've reached the end of yet another Organist Entertains, episode 67. Now, after this episode, my fingers and feet are going to have a rest. So, the Organist Entertains will come to you in 2 weeks' time for episode 68. Now, what that does is give everybody ample opportunity to send me in your hymn requests. Gives you plenty of time to thumb through old hymn books, search the internet, or just rack your brains for hymns which you have known and love and might want included in the next and subsequent episodes of the Organist Entertains. As always, we have the plug for our church here in Bellshill below, somewhere down there. There is a link to our online donation portal, and we do know that some of you do use it. And for that, we're extremely grateful for your financial support for our church here on Main Street, Bellshill. We also thank other people who make donations in other ways, whether that be through handing in money, passing on cheques, or for whatever way you do it, we thank you. These Organist Entertains are not done for our church's financial gain. They started over a year ago to help keep people connected and have quite literally grown arms and legs and turning into an hour plus, averaging probably now about an hour and a half episode, way different from the initial 10-15 minutes of episodes 1, 2 and 3. So I do hope that you're continuing to enjoy taking part and feeling included and part of our Organist Entertains virtual church family on these Wednesday nights. So it just finishes for me to say thank you and good night, but to remind you all to keep safe and stay healthy as we continue to be part of this strange time due to COVID or coronavirus. Thank you, folks. Good night. And remember, we have next week off, but then we return the week after with episode 68.